beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a holiday release, certainly the first of many for my channel this year. This is the Hot Buttered Rum palette from Too Faced. This is a cute little mini palette. I love these mini palettes from Too Faced. Of course, this one is limited edition. It's currently available from the Too Faced website, from Ulta, from Sephora. I ordered mine from Ulta, but it is on the Sephora site now. This cute little palette is priced at $25 US. Here's a look at the outer packaging. The box and the palette have the exact same little picture on the front. Just like all the other mini palettes from Too Faced, this does have a metal outer casing and it has a magnetic closure. This design on the front is raised, it is textured. And then on the back, we see all the shade names. This is the only place where the shade names appear. They are not inside next to the pans. When we look inside, there's a little mirror and of course all the eyeshadows here. Like I said, the shade names are not pictured inside. This palette is scented. It says that it smells like hot buttered rum. I don't really know what hot buttered rum actually smells like, but this definitely smells like a delightful, sweet fall candle from Bath & Body Works. That's kind of the reference I'm taking. It smells really good. It's not super strong. This far away, I can't really smell it, but when I sniff the palette, I can smell it. So it is scented, but it's not like a super strong fragrance, if that makes sense. There are 8 eyeshadows in here. 4 are mattes, 3 are shimmers, and then 1 is a matte with little glitters inside. I used to really despise mattes with glitter. And it's kind of like if you've ever had a teacher or a boss or a neighbor or somebody that you really didn't like, and then suddenly you have a new teacher or boss or whoever and they're even worse than the first one. That's kind of how I feel about mattes with glitter. I used to hate them the most, and now pressed glitter is the new formula that I hate the most. So, you know, matte with glitter doesn't really seem as bad to me anymore. Let's go ahead and take a look at the swatches of this palette. Just like always, I will be doing both finger and brush swatches on the inside of my arm with no primer down first, just the shadow straight onto my skin. The finger swatches will be on top and then the brush swatches will be below. For the brush swatches, I will be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Veramona color switch. That way we don't have any transfer between swatches. So let's go ahead and take a look at those swatches now. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how good these brush swatches look? Even with the metallics, even with the really light mattes, they still show up super opaque, just beautiful and smooth with the brush swatch. I am so impressed by these shades. Now that you've seen this palette swatched, let's take a look at an eyeshadow tutorial using this Hot Buttered Rum palette. I actually ended up using almost all the shades in this palette. So let's take a look at the tutorial now, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm starting off by priming my eyes just like I always do with my favorite eye base. It's the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then I'm going to set that base using this creamy matte shade called Vanilla Extra. Now for my crease, I'm going to start my transition with the shade Bottoms Up. I'm just lightly sweeping that through the crease area and also adding a little bit of that along my lower lash line just to balance this look out a little bit. Next, I'm going to take this really bright yellow mustard matte shade called Buttered Rum, and using a large flat brush, I'm patting that straight onto my lid. I was so impressed by the coverage that this color gave me. I was expecting to have a little trouble getting it even and opaque, and it was just really easy to work with. Now I'm going to mix Bottoms Up and Cinnamon on a small flat brush on my outer corner, just tapping that on. And then I actually blended that with my fingers so that I'd get a really smooth blend with those mattes. For my inner corner, I'm first taking Warm and Fuzzy on my finger and applying that just a little bit, brushing up onto the lid as well. And then for an extra bright pop, I'm taking Whipped Cream on a very small flat brush and dabbing that right on the very innermost part of my eye. For the last shadow, I'm using Spiked just on the very outer part of my lash line for a little bit of definition. Then I curled my lashes and added my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. That's the finished look. This is really, really easy to achieve. It's a beautiful, mostly matte, very fall toned look. I love this. I just feel so cozy. I am ready for a sweater now with this eyeshadow. I knew I was gonna like this palette. I've really liked all the mini palettes, but I like this way, way more than even I thought I would. I love this little palette. First of all, the formula is amazing. Every single one of these shades performs beautifully. The mattes are super smooth. They blend really, really easily. You could see from the brush swatches and from the tutorial that they applied quite opaquely, which I was really excited for, especially this little matte yellow shade. I was worried that this one would be a little bit dry, but it wasn't. It was just super buttery and smooth. All three of these metallic shades are so bright, really, really intense metallic shades. I love that. I love a super like wet looking metallic shade. I'm definitely getting that from all three of these. This is such a great little fall color scheme. It's warm, it's mostly neutral, but then we have this little red, a little yellow. I'm most excited about this yellow shade. This is something very different for Too Faced, and this color performs so beautifully. I have it all over my lids and it's just showing up so gorgeously. I think it looks even better in person than it does on camera, and I think it looks pretty great on camera. This color scheme kind of gives me the same vibe as my ColourPop California Love palette. In no way am I saying that either one of these palettes copied each other. I'm sure that this Too Faced holiday collection has been in the works for months, if not a year. So I'm not saying that Too Faced copied ColourPop's palette. I'm just saying the vibe, the shades in here are pretty similar, and I really liked the color scheme of that ColourPop palette, so that explains why I like this so much. Similar feeling with that like neutral tones with some bronzy mustardy vibe. Even the packaging is the same color. Look, the palette packaging is the same color. Oh man. Okay, so not dupes, but a very similar vibe happening here. I did a quick little swatch on my arm just to compare some similar shades from these palettes and sort of confirmed my thoughts that these are pretty similar. Some shades could be dupes. Overall, it's more of a similar feeling than an exact match shade for shade. This little Too Faced palette may be a good alternative for you if you live in another country where ColourPop isn't readily available. I know there are a lot of places in the world where you can get Too Faced more easily than you can get ColourPop, particularly in the UK. So just something to keep in mind. Long story short, I love this little palette. It is so cute. I love the color scheme. I love a neutral palette with a little bit of a twist. That's the kind of thing that I go back to time and time again for my everyday looks, where I feel inspired, but I also feel like I'm in my comfort zone. This little Hot Buttered Rum palette definitely does that for me. Love the scent, love the packaging. Very, very impressed with the formula on this. I hope that all of the holiday releases are this cute and this high quality. I also ordered the new gingerbread spice, like the big gingerbread palette. So I'll probably be doing a swatch and review of that one, maybe comparing it to last year's gingerbread palette. Let me know if you're interested in that. What other holiday releases do you want to see reviewed on this channel? I always want to make videos that you guys are interested in watching, that are going to be helpful to you. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! A magnetic... Ooh. I could have taken that reference in a political direction, but I decided not to. Anyway, moving on. Moving on from that. Don't act like you're not impressed. That payoff though. Woo, mama. These pants have so much eyeshadow on them. It's not even funny. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I love it so much. This yellow matte shade is so cool. Hot buttered rum smoothness. I'm gonna never say that again, I'm sorry. Hot butter rum. Between the scent and this like magnetic closure, it's just all around a very satisfying experience. Ooh. It's getting weird. What's new? It's pretty much status quo for this channel. I'm reviewing holiday stuff and it is literally 90 degrees outside. Okay. We'll see, my camera might die. My fingers are so stained. I have been swatching up a storm today, so forgive me. All right. Okay, gotta go. Bye.